Order, order. Anyone who's ever watched the House of Commons on TV will be familiar with seeing the Speaker in the chair in the middle, trying to get everyone to behave themselves.
Order! I think there are questions being asked. We do need to try and answer the questions that's being put to the Prime Minister. It will be helpful to those who are watching to know the answers. Prime Minister. Come in.
But what does Commons Speaker Sir Lindsay Hoyle do when he's not playing referee? I've come to Speaker's House and the Houses of Parliament to find out. So Lindsay, we're sort of talking about, everyone knows what you do when you're on the Commons chair, doing your order. But what do you do the rest of the time? We've seen you've been having meetings. Talk me through. Look at this.
Well, obviously come out of my office. So here we are in the Crimson Room. Beautiful room. And it really is, it's special, isn't it? It's nice to be able to have ambassadors coming in.
So these are your immediate predecessors. John Bercow there, Michael Martin before him.
And of course Betty.
And Betty Boothroyd
the most famous of them all, I always think, the only woman speaker.
Yeah.
So she really is fantastic.
And what do you use, joking about this being your office, what do you use these rooms for?
These are used for visiting guests, they're used for charities, we use them for different events that the House may be holding that seems relevant to Speaker's House. Of course, if we had a big occasion of a state dinner that the government might say, by the way, Mr Speaker, we want you to put on the state dinner. Not that I've had the chance of doing one, but that's what normally would happen. And we'd use the dining room next door. It's a heritage building, and I want people to share these rooms. These are beautiful rooms, but the public don't get to see them. So I'm saying, look, in summer, when we're not here, why don't we... If it's good enough for Buckingham Palace, it's good enough to hear. Let's use this as part of the line of route.
And this is exactly what tourists want to see, isn't it?
Of course it is, yeah.
Once you've got the portrait of you up and down.
Something to throw the darts.
Maybe I could paint. I get my paintbrush.
Are you good by numbers or?
Yeah, exactly. Now, are you able to show us the bed? That's what we're really here for.
And now we come into the bedroom, the royal bedroom.
Wow.
This is the state bed.
So is it right that as and when, a long way off we hope, as and when there's a coronation, in theory, the soon
Prince
to be
Charles, this is his bed.
King Charles should spend his last night.
Absolutely.
It's like the night before. It's like your stag do. He has his stag do in here before he becomes king. And just your role then. What do you do during the when you're not in the Commons chamber? You're having meetings, running the Parliament. What else happens in the average day of being the Speaker?
There's something going on every morning. So the first thing is I get into the office in the morning. I usually nip into the tea room, have my boiled eggs and soldiers, have a chat with Helen. She'll run through the diary of the day, what's coming up. Then we go straight in. We've got meetings. Then we'll have the deputies in. We'll discuss with the day who's doing what, who's covering what. Then I'll have the Chief Whip, the opposition Chief Whip, different parties, different leaders. And that's basically what the day... it starts with that and just carries on going, and it usually goes through till about 7 o'clock at night. Order!
And when you're working out who does what in the House of Commons chamber, there's questions to begin with, there's statements, there's debates. Which is the bit that you like doing the most?
The chamber, we're back to normal, or getting back to normal. Yeah. It's good. It's the excitement of the chamber. I really do find it exciting. And of course, you cannot beat Prime Minister's questions. I've got to say, that is the weekly event. Of course, it's pure showmanship. Of course, it's pure adrenaline that's coming out from the benches. But that's what I really do enjoy.
You've been saying for months now, I'm looking forward to getting everyone back in. Now they're all back, you have to keep telling them off because they're making too much noise.
They're not too bad. I've got to say, it's like everything, isn't it? The noise is there, but I've missed the noise. So I've got to say, I enjoy it. The only thing I would say is, if you're going to shout or be a little bit loud, don't sit at the side of my ear. Try and sit lower down the chamber where I might not hear it as often. What I would say is, I want it to boil, but I don't want it to boil over.
Yeah.
Simmering is good. A little bit of boiling, just get it. But we don't want the pan to boil over completely. So it's just about keeping the levels right.
Well, Lindsay, thank you so much for giving us a tour of your amazing gaff here. It's absolutely lovely. I assume your house back in Chorley is much the same. But I know you need to get back to the chamber, so we don't want to keep you.
Nope, we've got to get back. I've got to go and get robed up.